Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shockwave Radio. I'm your host, Johnny Wave, broadcasting from somewhere between optimism and the customer service line for modern America. Tonight's topic is simple. What the hell happened? Now, before anyone starts throwing keyboards through windows, understand this isn't about party loyalty. It's not about wearing a red hat, a blue hat, or whatever color hat Washington is selling this week. It's about looking around at the country we love and wondering why it feels like we're all starring in a reality show called Survivor. American economy. Every day I talk to people who aren't asking for yachts, private islands, or diamond-covered toilet seats. They're asking for something far less ambitious. The ability to pay rent without needing a second mortgage and a side hustle delivering burritos at midnight. Remember when the American dream was buying a home? Now, the American dream is finding an apartment that doesn't require 3 roommates, 2 jobs, and a blood sample to qualify. Rent goes up, groceries go up, gas goes up, insurance goes up. The only thing that doesn't go up is my paycheck. At this point, my wallet opens itself and starts crying. Meanwhile, politicians hold press conferences announcing exciting new initiatives, task forces, working groups, committees, commissions, studies, reviews, investigations, and strategic frameworks. Fantastic. Because nothing solves immediate financial pain like a 300-page report that won't be finished until sometime after the sun burns out. What frustrates people isn't simply that times are hard. Life has always had challenges. What frustrates people is the feeling that leadership often seems disconnected from the realities facing ordinary Americans. Many families are making impossible choices. Do I fill the gas tank? Do I buy groceries? Do I pay the electric bill? Do I keep enough money in my account to avoid overdraft fees from a bank that somehow makes more money every year while telling me my balance is insufficient? Thank you for the reminder. I noticed. The economy noticed. My refrigerator noticed. And somewhere in Washington, another hearing is taking place where highly educated people spend 6 hours debating why everyone is upset. Allow me to save them some time. People are upset because they're working harder and getting less. Mystery solved. You can send the consultants home. Now, I supported the idea of putting American priorities first. To me, that wasn't a slogan. It was common sense. Take care of your own house before trying to renovate the neighborhood. Focus on the economy. Focus on jobs. Focus on affordability. Focus on making life better for the people already struggling to stay afloat. That message resonated because it felt practical. It felt grounded. It felt like somebody finally understood that average Americans weren't interested in political theater. They were interested in results. Yet, here we are. Years later, many of the same concerns remain. The same economic anxiety, the same political division, the same feeling that the average citizen is trapped in an endless loop of promises, speeches, and campaign slogans. It's like watching the same movie every election cycle. The actors change, the script gets updated, but somehow the ending remains suspiciously familiar. And that's where the frustration comes from. Not blind loyalty, not blind opposition, disappointment, the kind that builds slowly over time. The kind that comes from believing things would improve and then looking around wondering whether anyone in power is truly paying attention. Because here's the reality. Most Americans don't spend their evenings arguing about ideological theories. They're trying to pay bills, they're trying to raise families, they're trying to save for retirement. They're trying to survive a grocery store trip without needing emotional support afterward. But when a carton of eggs starts feeling like a luxury purchase, people begin asking questions. Reasonable questions, hard questions, questions that deserve answers. This isn't about wanting perfection. No government is perfect, no leader is perfect, no political party has a monopoly on wisdom. But accountability matters, results matter, and the daily lives of ordinary citizens matter. Across the country, millions of people feel exhausted, they feel unheard. They feel
feel stuck between competing political narratives while their own concerns continue to take a backseat. They don't want slogans. They don't want hashtags. They don't want another committee meeting scheduled for next spring. They want solutions.
Wait, one more thing before we sign off. You know what really amazes me? Every election season, suddenly everyone discovers the middle class exists. It's miraculous. For 3 years and 11 months, average Americans are apparently hidden somewhere between a tax form and a census report. Then election season arrives and boom! Politicians start talking about working families like archaeologists discovering a lost civilization. Look! We found them! The people paying all the bills! Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And every campaign sounds like a movie trailer.
In a world where groceries cost too much.
Dun dun dun. One candidate has a plan. Then another candidate shows up. No, I'm the one with the plan. Then a third candidate arrives carrying a binder the size of a refrigerator. I have 17 plans. Fantastic. The only thing America has more of than problems is plans to solve those problems. Everybody has a plan. Nobody can find the owner's manual. Meanwhile, regular people are out there trying to survive reality. Not the reality on cable news, not the reality on social media, actual reality. The reality where your car makes a weird noise and your first thought isn't, I should get that checked. It's, can I financially survive finding out what that noise is? The reality where you stand in the grocery aisle comparing 3 brands of cereal like you're negotiating a peace treaty. The reality where every subscription service quietly raises prices and hopes nobody notices. We notice. Trust me, we notice. America has become a nation of amateur accountants. We're calculating gas mileage, calculating food budgets, calculating interest rates, calculating how much dignity we're willing to sacrifice before calling customer support. And after all that, we're told the economy is doing great. Maybe, maybe not. Depends who you ask. The stock market might be celebrating. My electric bill appears to be celebrating too. They're having one heck of a party together. And here's the darkly funny part. The people who built this country worked their whole lives, paid taxes, raised families, and played by the rules are increasingly looking around and asking a question that should concern everyone. Why does it feel harder now than it used to? Not impossible, just harder. Harder to buy a home, harder to save money, harder to start a family, harder to plan for the future, harder to believe that the next generation will have it easier than the last. That's not pessimism. That's a concern worth discussing. Because when enough people begin feeling disconnected from opportunity, frustration starts filling the vacuum, and frustration is a powerful thing. It can build movements, it can reshape elections, it can change the direction of a nation, or it can just make somebody yell at a self-checkout machine because it thinks an avocado weighs 19 pounds. Both outcomes remain possible. So where do we go from here? Hopefully towards solutions, hopefully toward leaders who spend less time talking and more time listening. Hopefully toward policies that make life more affordable, communities more secure, and opportunities more accessible. Most Americans aren't demanding perfection. They're asking for competence. They're asking for honesty. They're asking for a government that remembers its primary customer is the American people. That's not radical, that's not partisan, that's common sense, and common sense these days feels like one of the rarest resources in circulation. So keep asking questions, keep paying attention, keep holding leaders accountable. Not because you hate your country, because you care about it. Because despite all the frustration, all the division, all the noise and nonsense, most Americans still want the same thing. A fair shot, a stable future, and the chance to build a better life than the one they started with. That's the promise, that's the challenge, and that's the conversation worth having. This is Johnny Wave. For everyone out there
grinding through another week, stretching another paycheck, and trying to keep hope alive while the price tags keep multiplying like rabbits. We see you. Stay loud, stay informed, and stay skeptical of anyone who claims they've solved every problem. If it sounds too good to be true, there's probably a press conference scheduled for tomorrow.
Good night, America.